The painting, a story I should not have listened to. One afternoon, as the sun hid behind the clouds and I tried to find an improbable address in a rural area, the GPS led me down increasingly narrow roads, lined with trees and silence. It wasn't raining, but the sky had that gray tone that foretells something different. I was just about to give up when I saw someone waiting next to an old traffic sign, right where the map seemed to stop working. She got into the car with a short, almost mechanical greeting and stared out the window, as if searching for something in the distance. She didn't seem scared, more like resigned. After a few minutes of silence, she asked if she could tell me something strange. I said yes, go ahead. At that hour, nothing seemed that odd anymore. Then, without giving me time to brace myself, she said, "What I'm about to tell you happened to me in '97. I've never forgotten it." What followed was a story that etched itself into my mind as if I had lived it myself. She was 29 at the time. She was looking for land to build a house outside the city. She had always dreamed of a quiet corner in the countryside, surrounded by trees, far from the noise. An acquaintance recommended a plot in a nearly abandoned town, 2 hours from the city. He told her it was cheap, but that no one wanted it. She thought it was because of the isolation. She was wrong. She drove there alone on a Saturday morning. Upon arriving, she noticed something muted. It wasn't just silence. It was as if time stood still. Old houses, empty streets, not a soul. Only the sound of the wind and drifting leaves. The lot was large, with tall trees behind it. But in the center, there was an old wooden cabin, which hadn't been listed in the documents. Something pushed her to get closer. The door was slightly ajar. The air that escaped smelled of dampness, and something harder to define, like ancient rust and wet soil. Inside, a broken table, chairs covered in dust, and on one wall, a crooked picture, an old black and white photo. A family, but someone had crossed out the woman's eyes with black ink. As she turned to leave, she heard a thump upstairs. Something had fallen on the second floor. She tried to convince herself it was an animal, a nest, anything, but before she could take another step, she heard the stairs creaking. Someone, or something, was coming down, slowly, step by step. She didn't look back. She ran to the car and left. Days later, she asked her acquaintance about the property. He turned pale. He confessed that he had inherited it from an uncle who died there of a heart attack years ago. He had never been able to sell it. Something wasn't right with that place, he said. But instead of staying away, she felt the need to return. She brought a camera. She wanted proof, or maybe needed to convince herself it had all been in her imagination. She returned in daylight, filmed the way there, the outside, and entered. The picture was still there, but this time the ink was gone, and what she saw froze her. The woman in the portrait now had her face fully visible, and it was identical to hers. Then, the footsteps again. The same voice, barely a whisper, from the stairs. "You came back." She fled as best she could, but the strangest part came afterward. Upon reviewing the footage, the tape was empty, only static. Since then, she's never returned. But she told me she still dreams of that house. And in those dreams, the woman from the picture always appears, watching her from the top of the stairs. And the worst part is that sometimes she wakes up with her feet dirty with soil, as if she had been there. And you, have you ever had an unexplainable encounter? If you like this story, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more mysterious tales like this one. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Dare to share your own experience in the comments. See you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring the mysteries that surround us. Until next time.